walked with you once upon a dream. I know you, the gleam in your eyes is so familiar a gleam. And I know it's true that visions are seldom all they seem. But if I know you, I know what you'll do. You'll love me at once, the way you did once upon a dream. Hello, everybody, and welcome to a show about finding love. My pretty messy love. We've all seen the Disney movies and heard the stories of happily ever after, right? But could they really be true? Could I really find my Prince Charming that I met once upon a dream? I'm still not sure I know the answer, but I do know one example of happily ever after that I had in my life. My parents. They were my very first fairy tale love story. Someday my prince will come. Someday I'll find my love. And how thrilling that moment will be when the prince of my dreams comes to me. He'll whisper, I love you, and steal a kiss or two. Though he's far away, I'll find my love someday, someday when my dreams come true. Yet I know it's true that visions are seldom all they seem. But if I know you, I know what you'll do. You'll love me at once, the way you did once upon a dream. Love me at once, the way you did once upon a dream. Let me tell you a little bit about my parents. They were fixed up on their first date, married about a year later, and then stayed married for 56 years. You see, on their first date, two of their friends wanted to go out together, so they invited my parents along as chaperones. It was a romantic feature at the drive-in movie, Hounds of the Baskervilles. But despite that somewhat colorful beginning, it didn't take long for them to fall in love. And growing up, from my point of view, it really did feel like a fairy tale love story. My dad treated my mom like a princess. He bought her romantic presents, took care of her, kissed her on his way out the door each morning. And I knew that if I just looked hard enough, I would find my own Prince Charming just like that. For their 50th anniversary, we threw the biggest and best surprise party I've ever seen. In fact, I think I lied more to my parents in the months leading up to it than I had my entire life. But in the end, we pulled it off, and we created a beautiful tribute to 50 years of marriage and what I held up as the model relationship. The 50 years started in West Pennsylvania. Could have been Paris or Rome or Duluth, but 50 years started in West Pennsylvania. And that's how you know that I'm telling the truth. 'Cause 50 years feels like a fairy tale story, a Hollywood movie, an old country song. It starts out as nothing and grows till it's 50 years long. Now 1 year is easy, and 5 years, whatever. 10 years or 12, now you're starting to learn. It's climbing and driving and giving up something and praying you like what you got in return. And what is this city? And who are these people? And how did we get here? And did we go wrong? Keep holding hands, kids. We grew something 50 years long. It's 50 years fighting, and 50 years dancing, and 50 years chancing the wheel. It's 50 years reaching, and 50 years knowing, and 50 years knowing it's real. It's real. It's funny how someone looks 50 years different, but still looks the same, give or take, more or less. It's funny to think 18,000 days later what you might have been if you hadn't said yes. But look at us crying, and look at us laughing, and here's what we're thinking, in case it's not clear. If that love could happen in West Pennsylvania, who knows what could happen right here. So come tell the story of how you can do it. It's love, and it's luck, and it's sacred and strong. It starts out as nothing and grows till it's 50 years long. You start out with nothing and grow something 50 years long. I met my first true love in 6th grade. His name was Scott Hahn, and he looked just like a young Tom Cruise. Yeah, sadly, he didn't return my feelings. So I dedicated my first song to him in class one day. Shot through the heart, and you're to blame. Yeah. I found my next true love in 1992 when Robbie Rose, in what might have been one of the first promposals ever, serenaded me with his barbershop quartet and asked me to prom. Aww. We hung out for the next few weeks, and I fell madly in love with him. And on that magical night, I found myself dancing in his arms while he quietly sang Lady in Red in my ear. I don't know if it was teenage angst or something I just didn't understand at the time, but suddenly I wanted nothing else but to escape. He was not the prince for me. On another magical night soon after that, a quiet snow started to fall during our mandated study hours, and the entire school, we emerged from our study nooks and we started to play in it. Toby Hampson and I had been talking for a few weeks, and I had fallen for him. And apparently he had too, since I found this poem waiting for me in the mailroom the next day. 90s style. Reflections on a snowy night. The soft white snow crowns your head with the majesty it deserves. The street lamp above illuminates the pieces of heaven falling from above and adds an amber halo to your angelic form. In awe of this beauty matched only by you, the snow slowly halts its downfall. Tonight, I will retire and think only of the snowflakes in your hair. Taxi! I'm not usually inclined to take up useless conversations with a taxi driver, but I saw as I was walking take a road to another state. We'll sit back through the noise and the traffic and wait for some kind of scenery change. Wait till the view from our windows is strange. Trust me, I'm not crazy. I can see you making faces in the rear view mirror. I will pay you what the meter says. Just drive me up the highway. I don't care how far the way is. I guess what I'm trying to say is, in the bike lane of life, sometimes you gotta get out. I'm really not a person who is qualified to tell you where we should be going. I mean, I just left my boyfriend standing back there on the sidewalk, which is bad enough without disclosing. He was actually proposing. That's it, there isn't any doubt that I gotta get out. Hit the gas, make a turn, let this taxi speed. Cause there isn't a thing in the world that I need more than someplace my head can be clear. Probably miles and miles from here. I don't mean to freak and I don't mean to shout, but right now, God, I really gotta get out. I can't stay here anymore. I just gotta get out. Though I still don't really know what I am getting out for. I should be near him and Christ, feel happy, but it's like something's changed inside of my DNA. I just want to tell him that I'm lost and that I'm frightened, but something's there that smothers all the words I want to say. So how can I be what makes him happy when I can't even make a promise that I will stay? I've gotten used to keeping all this space between us, and when he looks right at me, I just want to run away. So I gotta get out. Yes, the only thing to do is to get myself out and accept the fact we're through. We won't get that far staying where we are. Oh my God, stop the car! I gotta get out! Apparently, the key to finding my Prince Charming was finding a guy that I was madly in love with, who didn't like me too much. Sure, I wanted to be loved and cared for, but I didn't want creepy poems. Yeah. I just wanted that simple, easy kind of love I had seen growing up. And as soon as I figured that out, I met my next true love, Chris Cox. Chris and I met in high school while he was dating another girl. It's okay, I knew it was going to work out. And just as I predicted, they broke up. And Chris and I started spending more and more time together. In fact, we even became chemistry partners. Yeah. Chris was a year ahead of me, so he went off to college before me. And when it was time to make my decision, there was only one choice for me: Campbell University, home of the Fighting Camels, and Chris Cox. Yes, I chose my college 100% based on a boy. It certainly wasn't to see the booming metropolis of Bowie's Creek, North Carolina. Yeah, you see, you know. Bowie's Creek is a very small town with one stoplight. But if there was ever a place Chris was gonna fall in love with me, this was it. Guys, this was a Hallmark movie in the making. Sure, my friends thought I was crazy, but I just knew that Chris was finally the prince for me. My mother told me to break up with you. She didn't think that you were good enough to take this prize. She didn't see any sparkle in your eyes. She said you acted like a boy and you you wore too much corduroy. But my heart was set on you. My heart was set on you. Besides, her taste was lousy. She's never had a clue. And my heart was set on you. My roommate begged me not to be with you. She couldn't stand the way you always left some toothpaste in the sink. She was amazed at your capacity not to think. She said your head was in a cloud and you talked way too loud. But my heart was set on you. My heart was set on you. I figured she was jealous that I found someone new, and my heart was set on you. It's a gamble, falling in love. It's sort of like Russian roulette. Yet in spite of all their warnings, I just knew you were a solid bet. A psychic swore you weren't the one for me. She couldn't find you in my aura as I sat there in her room. She said I shouldn't play the bride to your groom. I got her message loud and clear and shoved it out the other ear. 'Cause my heart was set on you. My heart was set on you. Why would I believe a bunch of tarot cards were true when my heart was set on you? It was terrible to face them when it all fell apart, when I was the last to know. Yet there they were to catch the pieces of my breaking heart, with the grace not to say, I told you so. And now to see you after all this time, I'm reminded of the clarity I had back then. Will I ever trust those feelings again? I was so willing to fall. Still, it's nice to recall how my I'll always count myself among the lucky few to have loved the way I loved when my heart was set on you. Unfortunately, someone else stole Chris's heart and my leading role in my Hallmark movie. I was doomed to play the best friend with the cute little coffee shop. I watched him date girl after girl after girl until he finally found the one. In fact, I watched a lot of my friends find their Hallmark movie match and walk down the aisle during that time. I watched from the front of the church in the pink or the purple or the pastel colored taffeta dresses. Yeah. But I didn't lose hope. In fact, every wedding was just further evidence that happily ever after really existed and that my fairy tale story was waiting just around the corner. She turns around and she meets his gaze. The lights are dim, there's a smoky haze. They share a smile and a secret wave. It's a moment built to save. They start to move across the floor. The room is frozen, wanting more. The happy couple on display, with nothing standing in their way. It's so romantic, I could die right here and now. It's gonna be that way for us. I know somehow, someday when it's me, I'll know our love was meant to be. Not one single complication or cause for hesitation. Someday when the dream is coming true, all you'll need is me, and all I'll need is you. They stop and pose for a photograph. He jokes around just to make her laugh. The room is full, but they're all alone. They share a language all their own. And I'm so jealous I could cry, and yet I know it won't be long before you say we're good to go. Someday when it's me, I'll know our love was meant to be. Not one single complication or cause for hesitation. Someday when the dream is coming true, all you'll need is me, and all I'll need is you. Someday when it's me, I'll know our love was meant to be. Not one single complication or cause for hesitation. Someday when the dream is coming true, all you'll need is me, and all I'll need is you. I know. Maybe my prince was waiting for me online. And thus began the journey of online dating. 15 years of online dating. Match.com, eHarmony, Bumble, Christian Mingle, Facebook dating, Farmers Only, you name it. I tried it. And believe me, it was trying. Online, he's out in Hollywood. He's 6'5" and he looks damn good. He drives a Maserati. He's a black belt in karate. He loves a good glass of wine. It turns me on that he's mysterious. He tells me he don't want nothing serious, but even on a slow day, he can have a three-way chat with two women at one time. He's so much cooler online. He's so much cooler online. He works down at the pizza pit. He drives an old Hyundai. He still lives with his mom and dad. He's 5'3" and overweight. He's a sci-fi fanatic, a mild asthmatic. He's never been to second base. Oh, there's a whole nother him that I need to see. I'll go check out MySpace. 'Cause online, he's out in Hollywood. He's 6'5" and he looks damn good. He drives a Maserati. He's a black belt in karate. He loves a good glass of wine. It turns me on that he's mysterious. He tells me he don't want nothing serious, but even on a slow day, he can have a three-way chat with two women at one time. He's so much cooler online. So much cooler online. I still think that all of those bad first dates and dating Mr. Wrong might have made a girl give up hope entirely, but not me. I don't know if it was the vision of my parents still holding hands after 50 years or just a relentless belief in true love, but I wasn't ready to throw in the towel. Besides, I had this perfect vision of my life with my Prince Charming. Romantic candlelit dinners, traveling the world together, trying new hobbies, even just quiet evenings at home watching a movie. And I wasn't willing to compromise on any of it until I found exactly what I was looking for. I met a man without a dollar to his name, who had no traits of any value but his smile. I met a man who had no yearn or claim to fame, who was content to let life pass him for a while. And I was sure that all I ever wanted was a life like the movie stars led. But he kissed me right here and he said, I'll give you stars and the moon and a soul to guide you and a promise I'll never go. I'll give you hope to bring out all the life inside you and a strength that will help you grow. I'll give you truth and a future that's 20 times better than any Hollywood plot. And I thought, I'd rather have a yacht. I met a man who lived his life out on the road, who left a wife and kids in Portland on a whim. I met a man whose fire and passion always showed, who asked if I could spare a week to ride with him. And I was sure that all I ever wanted was a life that was scripted and planned. And he said, but you don't understand. I'll give you stars and the moon and the open highway and a river beneath your feet. I'll give you days full of dreams if you travel my way and a summer you can't repeat. I'll give you nights full of passion, days of adventure, no strings, just warm a summer rain. And I thought, I'd rather have champagne. I met a man who had a fortune in the bank, who had retired at age 30, set for life. I met a man and didn't know which stars to thank, and then he asked one day if I would be his wife. And I looked up, and all that I could think of was the life I had dreamt I would live. And I said to him, what will you give? I'll give you cars and a townhouse in Turtle Bay and a fur and a diamond ring. And we'll get married in Spain on my yacht today, and we'll honeymoon in Beijing. And you'll meet stars at the parties I throw at my villas in Nice and Paris in June. And I thought, okay. And I took a breath and I got my yacht. And the years went by and it never changed and it never grew and I never dreamed. And I woke one day and I looked around and I thought, my God, I'll never have the moon. Now, let me be honest for a minute. A person has needs, and let's just say that endless first dates were not meeting those needs. So there may have been a time where I gave up on the stars and the moon and settled for some less noble pursuits. Ooh, this hot summer has got me down. You can fry an egg on the street. Heat waves are wiggling on the sidewalk. Cops are dropping like flies on the beat. I need a new lover to take me in, protect me from this humid air. Be you from Brooklyn to Arlington or Burke, I don't care. It don't matter kind of loving you're into or how big your apartment might be. All you need's an air conditioner, and you're the man for me. You can pour me a glass of Perrier. You can fan my fevered brow. You can rub me down with alcohol. That ain't enough, no how. You can lay me in a tub of ice. You can stand me in a cold shower too. But if you don't have an air conditioner, I will not go home with you. It don't matter kind of love you're into or how big your ego might be. All you need's an air conditioner, and you are the man, you are the man, you are the man, you are the man, you are the man for me. Ladies and gentlemen, the man for me tonight, Jeff Hamlin. You say you live in a penthouse, you got a terrace with a view of the night. Well, that's swell, but I really must tell you, an air conditioner's a much prettier sight. It don't matter kind of loving you're into or how big your wallet might be. All you need's an air conditioner, and you're the man, oh, you're the man. I don't care what kind of loving you're into or how big your might be. All you need's an air conditioner, and you're the man, oh, you're the man, oh, you are the man for me. So I was staying cool and getting my needs met, but I still longed for something more. I was still looking for that Prince Charming who would sweep me off my feet and then massage them for me at the end of a long day. What? I wasn't asking for much. So I began my pursuit of my Prince Charming in earnest once again, and since I had exhausted all my other options, I had to look to my last resort. I got on Tinder. I know what you're thinking, but seriously, I know at least 3 friends who found their person on Tinder, so I decided to give it a shot. There's just one small caveat. This was July of 2020. Yeah. In the middle of a global pandemic, I decided to look to that infamous dating app to find my next prospect. Yeah. But y'all, I actually found a guy that caught my attention, and we met up for what turned out to be a magical first date. A night at the drive-in movie, holding hands, texting until 2 a.m. after we got home. It was perfect. But as much as I liked him, on paper, he didn't exactly check all the boxes. You're a mess, you never make the bed. You don't read, you'd rather watch YouTube instead. You eat beef jerky, think UFC is fun. Wait, I've just begun. It's so strange, your house is always neat, but your whole life is piled up in your car's back seat. You own a chainsaw, your clothes, they never match. Goodness, what a catch. My friends all say I'm crazy, they all tell me it's no good, but I can't help it if you make me feel a way I didn't know I could. and shy, your little dimples, those great big clumsy feet. God, you're just so sweet. Logic says to run now, play it smart, don't be misled. But for once I'm following my heart and not my head. I don't know what fortune will allow, but I know I'm happy in the here and now. Don't know the future or what tomorrow brings, but I've learned that life is fleeting and fragile as the breeze. So if love shows up, you hold on tight and squeeze, 'cause if you're lucky, you'll take this crazy ride with someone by your side. So you're a mess, I guess that's pretty clear, but it feels like home whenever you are near. So call me crazy, but what else can I do? I'm in love with self-conflicted, rarely dressed up, sports addicted, sort of messed up, perfect you. I'm sure what happened next will come as no surprise. I fell for him. But this time I didn't run away. I found in him a world that was just perfect. And even though some people thought we weren't quite a fit, we turned out to be a perfect match of differences. Now, that's not to say it was all smooth sailing. In fact, I went from seeing him 4 times in the first week to only seeing him 4 times the next month. It wasn't exactly easy for us to find our groove. I think the most frustrating part for me was that he didn't just drop everything and come running whenever I wanted him to. After watching my dad treat my mom like a princess growing up, I couldn't understand why it wasn't working that way for me. And I started to wonder if Jay, well, that's his name, Jay. I started to wonder if Jay could be the one for me and if he could give me everything I wanted. It was only then I began to realize that maybe the fairy tale hadn't been all I thought it was. And I had to admit that even though my parents' relationship seemed like a happily ever after, it might not have been a healthy ever after. And I started to ask myself some hard questions. Did I really want to be the center of a relationship like my mom had? Did I really want a guy to just drop everything and take care of me at any expense? Did I truly want what my parents had? Or did I want something that could be healthy and happy? I struggled a lot during that time. It's not easy to give up a dream and see things for what they really were. And it couldn't have been easy for Jay either. There was a lot of push and pull. And even though we worked through it together, I often had to stop and wonder what he might have been thinking. I'll never be a knight in armor with a sword in hand, or a kamikaze fighter. Don't count on me to storm the barricades or take a stand or hold my ground. You'll never see any scars or wounds. I don't walk on coals. I won't walk on water. I am no prince. I am waste of time, like it serves no purpose. I am no prince, I am no saint, and if that's what you believe you need, you're wrong. You don't need much, you need someone to fall back on. And I'll be that, I'll take your side if I'm the only one. I'm used to that. I've been alone, I'd rather be the half of us, the least of you, the best of me. And I'll be your prince, I'll be your saint, I will go crashing through fences in your name. I will, I swear, I'll be someone to fall back on. Someone to fall back on. Someone to fall back on. I guess you could say I fell in pretty messy love with Jay. I found in him a world where I could be completely myself, a world that surprisingly didn't revolve around me, a world where we could just take care of each other. I still think that happily ever after really exists. In fact, I think that's exactly what I've found. I think the fairy tales just don't show the messy parts, the nitty-gritty parts that make it real. Pretty love, messy love, and sometimes pretty messy love. But all of that together is what makes it beautiful and real. And that's the kind of love I'm so happy I found. There's no need to complicate it, dress it up or overstate it without too much hesitation. Here's the way I feel. I like you, even when I don't try to. Yes, I do, that's the truth. I like you. With you, I can be myself. With you, I don't have to be somebody else. It's like putting on my favorite pair of shoes. I like to be with me when I'm with you. If I had a great big mansion, I'd rather live in a shotgun shack with you. And if I drove a red Ferrari, I'd rather ride in an Oldsmobile with you. And if I won $1 million, I'd give it away to spend more time with you. And if I had 1,000,000 lovers, I'd trade them all for just one night with you. 'Cause I like you, even when I don't try to. Yes, I do, that's the truth. I like you. With you, I can be myself. With you, I don't have to be somebody else. It's like putting on my favorite pair of shoes. I like to be with me when I'm with you. There are are way too many love songs. I think they got it all wrong. 'Cause life is not the mountaintops, it's the walking in between. And I like you walking next to me. I like you, even when I don't try to. Yes, I do, that's the truth. I like you. With you, I can be myself. With you, I don't have to be somebody else. It's like putting on my favorite pair of shoes. I like to be with me. I like to be with you. I like to be with me when I'm with you. Even though he couldn't be here with me tonight, the man I'm in pretty messy love with is still a pretty wonderful guy. So if you'll indulge me for one more minute, I'd like to dedicate one just to him. Can't say how the days will unfold. Can't change what the future may hold, but I want you in it, every hour, every minute. This world can race by far too fast, hard to see while it's all flying past, but it's clear now. You're standing here now. I am meant to be wherever you are next to me. All I wanna do is come running home to you, come running home to you. And all my life I promise to keep running home to you. Keep running home to you. And I could see it right from the start, that you would be my light in the dark, light in the dark. Oh, you gave me no other choice but to love. All I wanna do is come running home to you, come running home to you. And all my life I promise to keep running home to you, keep running home to you. Can't say how the days will unfold. Can't change what the future may hold. But I want you in it, every hour, every minute. Thank you so much. We have to tear down real quick, but I'll be out in the lobby in a few minutes. We'd love to see you all. Thank you.